there are 3 things that I absolutely hate on Hypixel Skyblock. The first thing is Melody's hair. Like, holy moly, the things you have to do for a girl's hair. Like, not even her phone number, just one strand of her hair. Was it worth it in the end? Possibly. Well, yes, I guess, yeah. But man, was that painful. Then there was scatter farming. There was that one time when I really wanted a scatter pet. I kept telling myself that the next scatter will drop a pet, and I ended up going crazy. You know what the funny thing is? My friend dropped a legendary scatter on his first few scatter kills. Well, it's not funny to me, but man, scatters make me really sad. Anyways, the third thing I hate is Melody's hair. Oh yeah, I already mentioned that. But yeah, no more simping for a girl's hair, never again. But you know what I decided to do? Become Bruce Lee. Doing some martial arts on Hypixel Skyblock. Well, that's what I thought I signed up for. When the Crimson Isle update released, the first thing I did was the faction quest. But then I realized that the server added a dojo. And I was like, Kung Fu fighting. No, I got scammed. There's no martial arts. There's no Kung Fu fighting. There's just this guy called Master Tao. And he doesn't even teach you. He just watches you struggle doing some mini games. And you know what the worst part is? You have to be naked to participate in those mini games. Don't ask me why he wants us to be naked. He doesn't even want you to wear a dojo belt. What type of dojo is this? So, this dojo seems like a scam, only for Master Tao to enjoy himself. But we still have to do it. Can't we just do the mini games once and call it a day? No. That's not what Master Tao wants you to do. Master Tao wants you to participate in the minigames multiple times. Again, naked. So why can't we say no to his minigames? Well, he's bribing us with Dojo Belts. He must have learned to bribe from Melody. Except, why would we want a Dojo Belt? We all know why you would want Melody's hair, but why a Dojo Belt? Simple. It gives us a stat boost. What? A stat boost? Count me in. So there are 6 belts in total. The first 4 belts should be pretty easy to get, but the last 2 is very difficult. I have somehow managed to barely get a brown belt, and it took me probably 5 hours, but those hours felt very long. I had to go through multiple phases, specifically 7 phases of sadness. The first phase starts at the Test of Force. At first glance, I thought that I would become a Jedi Master from Star Wars. So I just stood in the arena and concentrated my mind. Nothing actually happened. Maybe like a zombie walked off on its own. That zombie is probably lost, but I don't think I am capable of using the Force. So instead, I used brute force to push zombies into lava. Classic, using physical violence to solve everything. No, don't ever do that. It only works in video games. Anyways, the beginning of this stage was easy. The 10-point zombies loved getting pushed into the lava, but then came the 20-point zombies. Those zombies were not the true cause of my sadness in this stage, it was the freaking kids. If you fail to continue your combo, it will start running to the middle of the arena as fast as someone trying to leech off a dragon in the end island. Or as I say it, leeching off my magma slugs when I'm fishing. Yo, screw off, man. I also realized that with my non-existent knockback, it was not possible to get a high score in the minigame, especially when lag happens. Those zombies ain't moving when it's lagging hard, but as I kept punching the zombies, something hit me. Well, more like the zombie's body touched my hands, but you know, my brain started to think of a strategy. I realized that when I hit the zombies that are facing out the arena, they take more knockback. I would assume that this has to be because of Newton's law of physics. If the zombies have their backs facing me, they will be less able to resist my punches. But here's the issue. Even with the stronger knockback, some zombies like to spawn near the middle. Even if I managed to become the best PvPer in Minecraft, I would be wasting time trying to combo that zombie. Instead, I use something called being efficient. Instead of going for the zombies that require me to hit a 20 hit combo, I would just run to the zombies that are chilling near the edge. No idea why they're doing that, but thank you. Those zombies should learn to love themselves a bit more. Maybe they failed their final exam just like me. Just kidding. I haven't failed one yet, but hopefully I am not jinxing myself. Fingers crossed. Anyways, I moved on to the next stage once I got an A. The test of stamina. You know, this should be named the test of not touching any blocks. Honestly, maybe if they changed the block to grass, this stage would be super easy for Hypixel Skyblock players, cause no Skyblock player has ever touched grass before. This stage was fairly easy to get an A as long as the server is not lagging and the blocks teleport in front of your face. But to get an S, it's a bit hard, because apparently if your hair touches the block, you're considered knocked out. Like, come on, how does that even count? Like, even if my head hits the block above me, I can still fall into the empty space, right? Right? I might have sustained an injury, but at least I should be able to go through. Unlike the test of force, I decided to go for an S because it didn't seem too hard. The stage even let me skip to the medium difficulty every time I start the stage up again. Many times I have gotten an A. And then I decided, you know what, it's time to start to think of a new strategy. What if I jumped on top of the moving blocks? I tried that and it did not work, of course not. So I just had to do some calculations on my jump to ensure that I am not jumping too early or too late. I had to use the distance formula and count for the parabolic movement that my character does when jumping forward, and after the calculation, I understood the perfect time to jump, except that I did not account for the lag, so the calculations were useless. Instead, I grabbed my chair and upgraded it to what you call a gaming chair. Sat on a chair and started gaming. Eventually, I've gotten an S. And then I knew it was time to move on to the next stage, the test of mastery. I'll be honest, this is probably the easiest one. Anyone can get an S on this one. If you can't get an S on this one, either you're lagging super hard, or you decided to shoot the green blocks because you started preparing to get your driver's license and remember that green means go. In this case, you want to shoot either yellow or red. Just focusing on yellow should be good enough for at least an S. If you do this a bunch of times, you will start to feel like you could become a pro player in a first-person shooter game. Just promise me one thing, don't ever do the Fortnite dance in real life. Thanks. The next one is the test of discipline. I would say that this one is around the same difficulty as the test of force. Basically, you try to hit zombies with a specific weapon depending on what hat they are wearing. This test requires a bit of luck, not actually discipline, because sometimes the game decides to spawn a bunch of the same zombies in front of you. When I was doing this test, I found out that the server lag actually made this easier. Really? Yeah. So when the server lags, the timer is also slowed, which means that you can hit more mobs. I don't think getting an S is possible unless you're getting really lucky with the spawning of the zombies. Anyways, I took the A and moved on. The test of swiftness. I remember doing this one in the first person perspective. Don't do it in first person mode unless you're a psychopath. First person perspective makes it much harder and requires you to react insanely fast. In the beginning, you just follow the blocks that appear. Easy, right? No. Later on, the blocks are like, F you, I'll spawn behind you. And if you're in first person perspective, you're probably like, where's the next block to go? And once you realize it's behind you, it was too late. So please do this in F5 mode. It will make things much easier. Also, make sure to look down at the block in F5 mode. Now you can react to the block spawning in front of you, sideways, and behind you. Getting A should not be too hard. Getting an S though requires you to be very skilled. Instead of just jumping 1 block gaps, you now need to jump 2 block gaps in F5 mode. It's like parkour except that you're fighting for your own life because if you miss a block, you're going into the lava. Man, why does Master Tao always surround his minigames in lava? Is he trying to kill us? Also, Master Tao, stop telling me that I suck. It hurts my feeling. The next one is Test of Control. Since it's not out yet, I'm sad. Look, this one looks super easy. You just have to look at an NPC. This is probably the easiest minigame, but why the heck is it not out? I'm not getting the black belt right now because I choose to be smart and wait for this minigame to come out. For people that already got the black belt, either you're cheating you're sweating, or you're rich. There's no reason to spend more time on the dojo when you already got yourself a brown belt. Be patient. The damage reduction is not going to make that big of a difference, right? Alright, lastly, my favorite test. Test of tenacity. Now, this is not my favorite because I cheated, like some people. Nice point scores. That's definitely legit. This is my favorite because I love dodging games. At first, I did not have any strategy for the minigame, so I decided to stand in the middle and do nothing. And yeah, that did not work. I mean, unless the gas decide to shoot their balls in the air instead of me. Sometimes they actually do that, so I decided to start running and jumping to make sure gas shoot their fireball up in the air. That didn't work and I got tired of running, so I decided to walk and jump. Also, that did not work, so I created a new and smart plan. In the beginning, it's pretty easy to dodge a gas fireball. You just have to jump over the fireballs or move sideways if the fireball is getting close. Once there are 3 gas, you want to start running and jumping. But here's the thing that's different. Instead of just running and jumping around the arena, you want to pay attention to the gas. When you see the gas in front of you try to shoot you, you start to dodge sideways and keep running around the arena. Eventually, you get so good that you start to question if you're a god. But no, you're not a god, so eventually, you will get knocked out of the arena. If you have successfully gone through all 7 phases of the dojo sadness, hopefully you manage to get yourself a brown belt or a black belt. I still don't understand how wearing a belt makes you stronger. Like, how does wearing this give me damage reduction? It's just a piece of fabric. Anyways, I won't question it. Just don't go insane doing all the dojo minigames. Not everyone needs a dojo belt. Sometimes going naked is better. That would be something that Master Tao would say. Anyway, stay safe and don't bully the baby zombies too much. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and became a dojo master. Once you get your belt, you are ready to fight the world. Just as long as you don't fight Master Tao, cause who knows what he's up to.